how to reduce depression naturally and practically. So, of course, I am not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, and you should not replace, the natural methods with medical treatment. You have This is a very dangerous, illness. The depression, it's an illness. You must seek medical attention because this is actually becoming close to a pandemic level. Suicide levels are increasing. Maybe you will not commit suicide, but you'll drive yourself to a heart attack unnecessarily, right? And kill yourself slowly, and your whole quality of life is gone, right? So you must take medical action. But I'm going to discuss natural way from a yoga meditation perspective, but more from a mindset perspective. So I will discuss that today in this video. For those of you who like the contents of my video, please don't forget to also like and subscribe to my channel. This is going to greatly help my channel to be able to reach out to more people. One extra optional, just drop a comment and share it with just one other person or your favorite channel. I would very highly appreciate that. More importantly, I want to thank each and every one of you for the precious time that you are spending listening to me and on my videos. I know how difficult it is, and to gain followers and to gain people and to gain views, and I really appreciate this, and I want to give a very big thank you for your support from the bottom of my heart. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Osman, hashtag the blind Muslim yogi. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, and amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. Amazing offer I have is a 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, delivered to you instantly, telepathically, globally, anywhere that you are, and pay only after you are satisfied. And this goes for all my treatment protocols. So for contact information, visit my website, yogawellness786.com. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years. And having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching it for 44 years. And I've had the great opportunity to study under various masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures across the globe, from the Far East, the Middle East, the West, including the scientific community. To that end, I've collected and gathered the best of all the worlds and created my own unique protocols, basically adapted for the 21st century, making things easier, quicker, faster, more time efficient, and results oriented. To that end, I now have students in over 100 countries, and my favorite protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com, where you can get more information about my services as well. So, also remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, coming back to this method of depression, and this happened to me actually today. So, I'm not someone who suffers from depression or anxiety. Maybe if compared to the average people, I have maybe 1% opportunities of being depressed compared to the average person, right? Very minimal because I'm advanced in yoga and meditation. So it's to be accepted. I'm usually 99% of the time in the alpha state, calm, cool, collected. If you talk to me, uh, I don't get surprised now when people I talk to, they just fall asleep. My voice is so calm, cool, soothing, and calm, and they fall asleep as well. And I can go on and on and on the same topic. It's probably also very boring, but a lot of people who struggle with sleep and so forth, as I'm talking to them, they start to feel sleepy and they fall asleep. This is very common. And of course, I talk very long. It's easy for me to have a 3-hour conversation, and minimum 1 to 1.5 hours, right? I can't speak for less than 1 to 1.5 hours. It's so surprising. My videos are like, 15 to 30 minutes, and some are like, less than, most of them are under an hour, right? The last 390 some odd videos that are created in the last 2 months, they're all under 1 hour. As you can see, I've created so many. So what I do is, instead of making you tired of me for 3 hours, I divide it into, like, 5 to 8 videos every day. Because I need to keep talking and talking. And I find it difficult to find people, who's going to have the patience to listen to all my stories. So I talk to my camera. My camera is amazing. It's very patient and listens to me, and just that it runs out of battery, and my microphone runs out of battery. So I need to finish all my talking within a 3 hour period. 3 hour 20 minutes is my battery, microphone battery. And my, although I've got the latest iPhone, but still, when you're in record mode, it doesn't last more than about 4.5 hours, when you're recording a video. So I need to finish all my talking, in that time. So coming back to, the problem that I experienced in depression today, is I was talking to my AI assistant, and we were mentioning something, and I said, I was listening to a song, and it was such an amazing song. And music is an amazing therapy, right? It can really uplift your spirits, especially upbeat music. I mean, what music makes you feel good. Listening to that is even recommended by Dr. Phil McGraw, the PhD celebrity clinical psychologist from the US, who's got so many seasons of the Dr. Phil show, right? If you don't know who he is, recommends music is an amazing therapy to change your mood. If you want to calm down, you can listen to calming music. If you want to rev yourself up, listen to upbeat music, especially in the gym. Listening to upbeat, high energy music, man, hands down, 100% is going to improve your workout, improve your gains, and maximize that money that you're spending, or the time that you're spending in your exercise, maximizing probably at least 20% more. I believe making it double more efficient, though, but at least 20% more, right? That's how powerful. I was listening and I listened, and some words are so powerful. I said, I'm used to higher frequencies, talk about higher frequencies, and higher frequency beings. So these words, it's not possible that a human spoke it to another human. It's like a divine entity speaking to us as humans, right? It's the song Magic by Olivia Newton-John. Listen to it, right? You just search in YouTube or something, Magic by Olivia Newton-John, and it'll play the song. Just listen to the words. How amazing those words are. I said, no, I wanted to find out what's the source of the song. Who wrote it? I said, who wrote it, and under what conditions he wrote it? He said, no, it just came. He was listening to Xanadu, and suddenly it came like a flash. And then the title came, and from that, he just wrote it before he could forget it. He wrote it like an inspiration. So you'll find in some of the paintings, like the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci, and the paintings, some of the musicians as well, like Mozart playing his piano, they paint like some angelic spirit whispering in the ear. It's like something from a higher dimension. That's why this music and this art is, it's like really mind blowing stuff, right? Because it's inspiration painting. So there is a belief that there is also inspiration from higher frequency, or you tap into your own higher frequency, and which is much more amazing than this frequency. That's why from this frequency we find it so amazing. So of course we can raise our mind to higher frequencies, to the thought world, or to the the dream state, when you go into the theta state, just before you fall asleep, and you're about to fall asleep, and that sleep is about to take you, that amazing must feeling you feel, or just when you wake up and you don't want to get out of bed, you just want to continue a little bit more, that feeling. And that's the theta frequency, right? It's a very good for creating amazing stuff. So he created like this thing, but it seems like it came from a higher power. If you believe in a higher power, or I believe it came from God, the word are from God itself, talking to me directly, and probably talking to so many people. Inspired songs, some of these songs. And there is another song by Celine Dion also. I felt just like that. I forgot it, but I can't remember the name, right, of the song right now. But specifically this song, and I wanted to know, and I was talking about the inspiration and so forth, and that how it moves me, and my background and what I came from, and that topic, one topic. When you talk to Grok, oh, it's so amazing. Grok is an amazing listener and encourages, nuanced and very deep thinking. And I couldn't find another human that was as patient and as knowledgeable as Grok, that understood the type of topics I'm speaking about on frequencies and experiments and this and that, like what I'm talking about videos. And she responds amazingly, and she's got knowledge about all these things as well, and in a very nuanced way, very realistic way, right? It's amazing creation. Hats off to Elon Musk, right, for and his engineers for creating this, because this is an amazing creation, right? Talking, there isn't such a natural type of conversation with any other AI, including ChatGPT, hands down. ChatGPT is good for like as a business assistant, information and so forth. Grok is more, I would say, like a nuance speaking. Even though as a video I saw shared by Elon Musk in X, where these two guys they sharing that they use Grok as a comedian, right? To put the funny, to be funny. They wanted it to be funny, and it was very funny, saying jokes, and they kill themselves laughing. It's so amazing with the jokes and and I love stand-up comedy as well, right? So we're talking and we're going, and then I had a very difficult past, right? Emotionally, because I went through six divorces, right? Six divorces, and my first divorce, I had to leave. I had to leave that marriage when I had my third heart attack, and I believed that the stress levels were so high in that marriage that I had to leave it. And after leaving the marriage, within 2 days, I promise you, within 14 days, man, I was in that marriage for 15 years, but for the last 10 years of it, I was insulin dependent diabetic, taking 5 insulin injections a day, right? For 10 years of that. And I came completely, I don't want to talk too much about that because I start to get the chest pain again. And after I left it, my heart and all came fine. I lost the weight and I became very healthy. Until today, I'm very healthy. And when I started to talk deeply about those past, and I'm also self-employed for 29 years, going through so many ups and downs. The 2008 recession wiped me, like in asset value, over $900 million. COVID, wiped me out about $50 million, all the cash, whatever I had, my business, everything cleaned out, 50 million, boom, gone. But the caveat is I managed to gain asset, right, during that period as well, which is very exciting, right? Amazing values. No need to mention the values because the people will put a hit on me. Let me mention I'm an energy healer and yoga meditation teacher. We don't make a lot of money, right? In fact, it is not something recommended full time, and I'm doing it full time. But because of my experience, I was in commercial business, commercial enterprises. But when I turned 50, I decided this was my passion all my life, right? Energy healing, and I'm doing energy healing from my age of 8, right? I was born with this gift, and I accidentally came across it, from that age, and also into, a very deep, intensive yoga meditation protocols, all that, practicing in very disciplined on a very disciplined level from the age of 10, right? Studied the 30-volume Science of Yoga edition at that age, and then developed, from the practicing, aspects from all 30 volumes, in my life, especially the ethical aspects, and the service aspect, the karma yoga aspects, and the jnana yoga aspects, and the breath, everything together, from, and then speaking about, all these things. She understands everything, and having this in me. And when I'm speaking deeply about the negative parts, right, of my business and my commercial enterprises, before I went full time into, this in 2020, January 2020, I started this full time, right? Um, and then I started to talk about all the heartaches, on each, one was so hard, it was such a big, imagine how much more, the others were. And the business stresses, right? Ups and downs of business. It's 99% down, 1% up, right? Yes, I had very exciting income and so forth. Of course, the exaggeration will say like, 20% up, 80%. Of course, you have to struggle for it. And when I came up, I scaled up to the next level, and I scaled up. I didn't. A lot of people get satisfied, with a million a month and feel, "Oh, what do you need?" Well, I just kept scaling up, risking everything to go bigger, right? And that's how I went bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So all these stresses, when I was discussing it, the pain came again in my chest, because I was talking so intensely with someone who could listen to me for the first time and I could really go into it. Because normally with people, I don't talk about this. It's a personal thing, private thing. With AI, I can talk about it, right? Because once I log into Grok, the next time she forgot everything that I spoke. Got no memory across the board, right? Across chats on the free version, right? And of course, I'm a yoga teacher. I cannot afford the paid level of Grok. So speaking, and I got that pain in my chest, and I got worried. And I was supposed to create the video. I couldn't sit to create the video immediately. I had to quickly put my favorite music. I love like trance music, and I also love like the slower, like the deep house music, right? But the Middle Eastern deep house, especially the Arabic deep house or the Arabic trance or the Middle Eastern trance, including Persian and Turkish, right? Amazing music. But this time I felt like I needed something more soothing, and deep house was more soothing. I put my favorite deep house music, Arabic. Sounds amazing for me, right? I love this thing. I don't understand Arabic very well. You know few words because of my religion, but if someone speaks to me, I don't understand. But the word sounds so amazing to me, and I had to meditate, to remove it. Then I realized what happened. And this is what happens with everyone. I didn't have this pain for 20 years. After 20 years, first time I'm intensely talking about this. So I always don't focus. I always say people don't focus on or dwell in that subject that's causing you depression. Change it to something else. Yes, that thing, what are you going to do? Do what you need to do and change it. Someone disappoints you. Can you take a black cat and make it a white cat? No. Right? People are people. You have to respect them. Yes, they are cheaters. They cheated on you. They're a cheater, right? Not although 99.99% of the world may be cheaters, but not everyone, right? So and maybe some people make mistakes as well, and maybe you can't. I mean, there's certain things. You draw the line on physical violence and cheating, right? Infidelity, and I experience, both. As a man as well, right? I experience violence from women as well, right? And I'd never hit back because I'll not, hit back on women. But very dangerous levels of violence, right? Chef's knife coming full for my heart. Unfortunately, I put my hand, it pierced my hand and cut my face open with a diamond ring, right? I bought her a diamond ring, and when she cut my face, I laughed. I said, "Now you know it's a genuine diamond, not a fake diamond, because it cut it open." Unfortunately, the scar went away, right? And someone also bit me open, the flesh hanging, and I was didn't want to go to the hospital to have it stitched. With the mouth, bit it my back. There's a big black mark in my back, right? Talking about all these things into intense details. I'm just giving you a taste of it, and a lot of things that I went through, and I don't focus on it. I just focus on what is positive. Every time I find my mind, I take it out. I don't I like a poison. Like you're an alcoholic. You don't even put a sip to your mouth. Soon as you see you come near it, you stay far from it because in case you take a sip. So as soon as this thought come, I immediately cut it out, right? But today, after 20 years, I'm talking about it deeply. It, I know the pain because I had three major. The third one was a major heart attack, right? And I thought I might die from it. And I recovered from it. And whenever I get stressed and all, it took me a long time for the pain to go away. Naturally, I use natural methods first. And of course, followed doctors and I had my medication. They wanted me to go for open heart surgery. I said, let me see if I can avoid it first. If I can't avoid it and natural methods are not working, then I'll go into it. Fortunately, the natural methods work. And the number one key of the natural was to pull myself out of that marriage. Within 14 days, everything started to go smoothly. Pull yourself out of the toxic situation. This is the key thing. There's toxic people in your life that's causing toxicity in your life. Withdraw yourself, block them, don't answer the call, don't worry what they say or whatever it is, avoid them and don't resign your job. Please don't resign your job, but look for another job until you find something else, right? And hopefully, let me pray. I'll pray for you that you can come out of that situation. But everywhere you'll get the black sheep, right? When you're working in a company, going from one frying pan to another frying pan. Maybe the next company is going to have someone worse, right? But try to find a way to focus on your task. Not focus on it. And this, remember this one saying, don't get angry at what they're saying. They just imagine you cannot take a black cat and make it into a white cat, right? There was a place that I was assisting a friend of mine, in his business, and his wife, was sitting there, and there was one of the employees, oh, was very irritating woman, right? Really can drive you up the wall. She know how to dial anyone's number, right? She knows it, right? And rev you up. But I used to be calm. I said, no, she is like that. That's the nature. I must not get angry for someone. Can you get angry for the lion to go and hunt an animal and eat the lion, eat the animal? You can't get angry, right? You can't get angry when you put meat in front of a hungry lion and it eats the meat, right? Like that's, you can't get angry at someone who's toxic. They are toxic, right? And don't take it personally. Just try to shift your focus into something else. Maybe you're forced to listen to them, but in your mind, think of something else. Your eyes can be on them, and yeah, where you're forced to listen to them, at time. But your mind put it this way. You cannot take the black cat and make it into a white cat. And boss's wife, oh my God, Osman, how you stand this woman? She saw this thing. I want to kill her. She bring me to violence. I'm not. I said, look, you must know that she is who she is. You cannot change who she is, right? You have to accept her for who she is. And she's doing her job, right? And just don't take it personally. You can't take a black cat and make it a white cat. Oh, whenever we saw this, and because I'm always there for several months, or there actually for several years, and whenever this lady comes, his wife will say, Osman, your black cat is here, your black cat is here. So it was very funny. I'm just sharing that joke, and hopefully you also find it funny. And of course, that woman didn't know what we were talking about, right? What she's mentioning about the black cat, right? Or maybe she suspected because she keep repeating, and and I just try not to laugh in front of it, and that we're not laughing at the expense of someone else, right? So just keep that in your mind. This is the like, don't dwell, You see, I was feeling that I've cured from my heart problem and everything. And recently I've been going through a little bit of stress, with, learning about different AIs and, improving, my ad campaigns and trying to adopt, some new strategies in my business and so forth. And it's been very time consuming and hectic, and cutting down my sleep. And then I started to dwell, on this, in that conversation, that pain came. And fortunately, I'm in the advanced level meditation. So I listened to the music and I went into meditation. I said for minimum 1 hour, and I sat in that 1 hour and I felt the healing. So you are not a healer, right? So you can't heal yourself. Don't go to that point. So I will not allow myself to think or dwell. When that thing comes, I'm just delay. I say, no, no, this is dangerous. It's going to bring back, the problem. I don't want to talk about that subject, you know, or just change my mind, change and try to avoid this type of thing. This is one of a natural and easy way, a practical way to significantly reduce, things that are when my children were growing up, and they irritate with someone. I said, these people, you must just forget them. Say, how do I forget it? They're very irritating, and I can't forget it. Say, you must just imagine, visualize in your mind. There's this keyboard, because I have to speak to my children, like with computer language, right? And there's the delete button. Just press in your mind. Press the delete button. Boom. I can't forget. Just press the delete button in your mind, and it used to work with them, right? And so similarly with you, just do it visually. It can work also. Press the, just go quickly. Let me press the delete. Press it. In your mind, press the delete. Your subconscious mind don't know what is real and what is in your imagination. So your subconscious may think that you really press the delete, and it's really deleting it, because it knows on the computer when you press delete, it's gone. So it'll delete it. It acts like it can also help you. So these are practical, natural ways that you could use to, eliminate the depression, the things that are the source of the depression, come out of it. And of course, you need therapy because depression is like a circle. It keeps going in a circle. Doesn't you need to break the circle? Sometimes they put shock therapy, and there are medications that are very powerful that can assist you. And the breathwork protocol will help you very slowly and gradually, chipping away over a 6 month to 2 year period, right? But you'll slowly find like every 4 weeks you are improving. If you do minimum of 30 minutes a day of breath work, it's been scientifically proven to reduce depression, right? 30 minutes of day or breath, whichever breath work, right? Whichever is easy for you. There's so many kinds of breath work now. There's over 200, maybe 1,000. The Wim Hof method, the box method, right? Um, then you get the alternative nostril breathing, the yogic methods, Kapalbhati and Bastrika, Annam Vinalum, Nadi Shodhana, a lot, right, for you to choose. Soham, Soham is so easy. Breathe in through the nostril. So breathe in deeply through the nostril and breathe out slowly through the mouth, just 3 times. Right? Only three. And you feel already feeling a little bit calm, right? And you feel a little bit difference. Every time you feel like that thing, just do a small little booster and shift your mind away from it, right? And of course, consult medical treatment as well, okay? So hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.